Subscribe to get the news the legacy media won't tell you and only the Daily Signal can bring to you.
Rob, what are we learning about potential independent voices in the Senate?
Well, certainly there are some, probably more so on the Republican side. Remember, Joe Biden enjoyed the support of all Democratic senators when it came to his nominees, but Republicans tend to scrutinize the Donald Trump's picks perhaps a little bit more closely. And so Joni Ernst being one of them who made the biggest news because of her background in the military, she had some doubts about Pete Hegseth. Those seem to have mostly cleared up after their meeting.
But is it because of the pressure from the MAGA community?
I absolutely think so. I mean, she's up for re-election again, and she will maybe face a primary challenge from conservatives if she doesn't vote the right way. Even as she's come out to signal her support, she still might get a challenge from the right.
Yeah.
She absolutely will, because it's thuggish behavior on this part. She had clearly been thinking about it, and she's on the forefront on women in the military, including sexual assault. And so what they're doing is thuggish behavior, and we'll see if it works. By the way, Pete Hegseth remains entirely unqualified for the job. That seems to have gotten lost in the sauce here. There's a lot of people who Trump has hired who are qualified, and you may not like them or like their politics, but they're certainly qualified, like the person to run the Treasury and things like that. But this is just thuggish behavior, and it'll work for so long. But I think behind the scenes, there might be a lot more pushback than you think.
Kara is describing it as thuggish.
Yeah.
Nia, would you go that far?
I think that's right. I mean, we talk about a primary threat, but if you think about the MAGA movement, parts of it are the folks who laid siege to the Capitol and called for the hanging of Mike Pence. So if you're somebody like Joni Ernst, it's not just, well, maybe you'll be primaried by, somebody using Elon Musk's money and somebody who's backed by Donald Trump, but you might face a real sort of threat of violence from these folks. And so I think if you're Joni Ernst and any number of these folks, 4 or 5 of them who might want to stand up to Donald Trump, who might see Pete Hegseth as the unqualified candidate he is and not back him, you got to really think about that, what that means for not only your career, but your sense of safety and security.
Of, that's a really nice Senate seat. It's a shame if you had to lose.
Rob, I want to let you answer that, because you sort of made it sound like these independents are fine. It's just a little extra scrutiny. And they're describing an atmosphere for these same lawmakers you're talking about that actually sounds quite dire. So help me close this gap.
Well, I'd like to come back to whether Hegseth is qualified or not. But on your specific question, I do think that it's hard for Republicans. Remember, 93 senators voted for Lloyd Austin to be the Secretary of Defense. I think for any Republican to then oppose Donald Trump's pick opens up the
But do you feel those are similar resumes?
They have different resumes, obviously.
Come on,
Austin's
Pete Hegseth couldn't run a Starbucks. Come on.
But Pete Hegseth has led to organizations that supported veterans. Actually, the Daily Signal did some reporting on this. About that this week, spoke to people at those organizations, and some of the accusations that had come out anonymously have been refuted by Mark Lucas, who succeeded Hegseth to lead Concerned Veterans for America, said actually Hegseth left it in very good condition upon departing. So I do think that those are the types of things that Kristen said that will hopefully come out during the confirmation hearings and have an opportunity to respond to them.
That's exactly true. It should. You should wait and see.